Are you frustrated, stressed, and overwhelmed with your business? Were you all excited when you first thought of the idea of running a business and you were just so charged and ready to go? And then what happens? Life happens, stuff happens, roadblocks get in the way. And then what do you do next? You think, maybe I shouldn't have done this after all. Maybe I should go find a job. Or your husband is telling you to go find a job. All you know is that you're not liking what's happening here and you're ready to quit. So if that is you, stick around because I have an amazing guest with me today. She is business strategist and author Pia Harriman, and we are going to talk dirty about business, the highs and the lows and what to expect. And she's going to provide 3 tools that's going to help you get past those roadblocks and build a successful business that you are dreaming of building. So let's get going. Pia, welcome. I so appreciate you coming on and wanting to talk about this very important subject.
Oh my gosh, Susan, I'm excited. I'm really excited. And yes, it is, I've wanted to talk about this for so long, but first off, I just want to say I'm a huge fan, and I hope that everybody that watches this continues to get that education and gets motivated, inspired, because truly that's what I know your intent is. For me, it's helped me. Yes, no, that's a great topic because it's real. We get into business. We started because a lot of it, especially for women, research have shown in the last 20 years, women entrepreneurs are now leading business 114%, which means that right now, in today's firms, women that are leading companies are up 56% of our business. So women, we're doing it. We are doing it. We're starting our companies. And a lot of it is out of commodity. A lot of it is because a lot of us don't want to go into the 9 to 5 or even 10, 15-hour days at working for someone else because they want to have that time, that flexibility. And that's perfect. Then when you start something, what happens? You get into the grind and the mix of it. And then all of a sudden you get stressed, you get overwhelmed. I mean, I'm sure you felt it. I definitely have felt it. And I know a lot of our viewers here. And then we turn to some of us, actually the statistic was about 1 out of 5 women don't even have the emotional support to lean on. Right. So they can't, and that's a vulnerability factor. They feel sometimes they're not able to express the frustration even to their spouse, because like you mentioned earlier, here's something that can come at you and saying, it's your spouse saying, what are you doing? Why don't you actually go back to work? And so that's a lot. That's a lot for us women. And how do you deal with that? And for me, exactly what you said, I have 3 steps in order to do that. And I didn't know if you wanted to get into it right away.
Sure. Why don't we get right into it?
Let's get dirty. That's what you said. Yes. Well, the biggest thing, Susan, is this is what happens every single time, whether if you're in corporate and now you've become a budding entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. Even if you're a mom, even whatever it is, you get into a new marriage, you fall into routine. And so what happens in routine is that you all of a sudden switch into autopilot. You can have this strategy of building your business. You have this great business plan. You finally, what they say, found your passion. I found my why. There's so many books about it. Find your why. And you do it. And nobody talks about the in-between and the stress and the being overwhelmed, all of that. And then because you can't, like I said, the statistic is really high, you can't talk to anybody about it or express that frustration. The worst thing that often happens, is you quit. And that's it. And so this is why what's done it for me has been very successful. And I've seen it to a lot of my entrepreneurial friends is you have to change your routine. You've become in that autopilot mode. Starting my first tip, first off, everybody says that, but it is proven, especially for high performers. If you wake up, create a morning routine. You have to do it. And even if you say, okay, Pia, I already wake up at 5. What more do you want? Well, try maybe 4:30,
Ouch.
Yes, I know. And in all honesty, I was a 5 a.m. This is all from experience.
Yeah.
I woke up at 5 a.m. and I still felt overwhelmed. I still did all of my morning routine, and I said, there is not enough hours in the day. So what I did is I challenged myself and I said, okay, well, I can't really do 4. Okay, that may seem a little cynical. So I tried 420. I did 420, and it was tough. It was hard. And sure enough, I got on the routine and I did 420. So first off, you broke your morning routine. It's a very simple little change. You have, and a lot of you, if you say, I don't even have a morning routine, well, then there you go. That is a huge tip. Every high performer has a morning routine. It is, why do you want to start a day where you already know it's going to be overwhelmed and it's going to be stressed, where you're going to purposely start the day stressed and overwhelmed?
Yeah.
When you have an early morning routine, you're already gaining clarity and you're giving yourself permission to feed that self-love back to you and to start off focused.
Yeah.
You know, it's very healthy to get in that state where nobody else is going to distract you. And it is all about your goals for the day. Okay. Even if it's as small as I want to be the best parent, it has nothing to do with business. It's okay. What is going to be the small little thing I need to focus on? You're not going to figure out when you're rushing out of bed, when you're trying to get the kids ready, you're getting your husband or your spouse trying to figure out what they need. And then your time is gone.
Yeah.
So number 1, create that morning routine. If you already have a healthy one, flip it up a notch and do 420 or something like that. Try it. It's hard, but it works.
When I started to get up at 5 in the morning, it really made a drastic change. First of all, there's no phones ringing.
Right.
There's nobody bothering me. The emails it's just spam coming in so far.
Right, sure.
So I can be really productive for the first 3 hours of my morning, whether I'm productive and I also have time to go to the gym. And, I do have that morning routine as well. And it makes a big difference to just kind of take that time for yourself, especially if you're a mom and you've got a family. I mean, we're not saying abandon your kids and, it all has to be about your business, but you do need to be selfish in a way that you need to create that morning routine that's just for you so that you can start your day off on a positive note. That's a great tip. Yeah.
Thank you. And it works. And even if you're already starting that early, but you're finding the time where that feeling of there isn't enough time, there's a little bit more of the morning time that you can work on. So that's a good one.
And then just go to bed earlier, right? You don't have to stay up until 11 o'clock watching The Daily Show or whatever. Though many times we waste a lot of our time in the evening. So cut that short, go to bed early, get up early, and you'll just have so much more time to be productive.
I love that you said that, because a lot of times people have told me, I can't wake up early. I'm not a morning person. It's really hard for me. Do it first. And then all of a sudden you're going to be so tired the next day that you're going to immediately fall asleep like at 9 or so, because you woke up so early. And then all of a sudden it turns into routine to where you do look at the hours of the night and say, okay, am I wasting it or using it usefully? Now, mind you, I was also as cynical as building the business on the back end where it was leading to midnight and 1 o'clock. And I got that too. But the thing is, you are most effective in the daytime. You really are. Everything happened. All the emotions of the day, all the transitions of the day have happened to you, that if you are on your prime at night, you are probably, in my opinion, that 1%. And that's amazing. And I'm super jealous. But at the same time, if you're not, the morning routine is a huge must. It's a huge must.
And I must say, I used to be a night person. I used to be that night owl. Working until 2 or 3 in the morning was normal for me.
Sure. Yeah.
And there, I read some kind of statistic saying that if you are in bed sleeping by 10 o'clock at night, you get a much better sleep. I can't remember all the science about it. And I said to my husband, why don't we give it a try? And we made that conscious decision to literally flip around and get up at 5 in the morning, go to bed at 9. And we never looked back. Looked back. I'm more productive now than when I was one of those self-proclaimed night owls, and I got so much done at night. But the difference really is night and day. Literally.
Literally. And you know what? It truly works. Yes, I was proud to say, oh no, I work till the wee hours in the morning. That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't physically make any sense.
Yeah.
Try it first, and then
Yeah.
and then you'll see the results.
Yeah.
And my second one, it's really simple. It's okay. So you have your morning routine, and everybody that says, okay, I have my morning routine. Okay, I'll kick it up a notch. Have you meditated? The biggest thing about meditation is it's huge for me. First off, I was one of those that I don't have the time for that, to breathe. I don't believe that, you know. And I tried it, Susan. Oh my gosh, I have been doing it for several months now, and it has made an astronomical difference. When you sit there and you're learning to breathe and just trying to clear your mind, and many of us who can't really do that right away, you can put the headphones on and you can listen to some soothing music, and that's perfectly fine. But the whole point is to not think about anything. People go, well, do I think about positive things? What do I do? You know, no. Because what happens is, scientifically, your brain then falls into a deeper state of clarity, of consciousness. And so what happens is, but you're still awake. So when it falls into that clarity, the biggest and helpful tip, in order for anybody that says, okay, now you're talking about meditation, now I can't even do that. No, but you can. Try it. One, meditation is a skill. It isn't something that you naturally are inclined to do. You sit there, and even if you can do 5 minutes of just breathing and trying not to think of a single thing, just your breath, that's a success. And then it'll lead to 10 minutes. And this is the science behind it. So what happens is, your consciousness comes into play. And I believe it's after delta, it's theta. And when you get into this sense of consciousness, it removes physically, and now I'm going to even test myself on the type of bone that flares back onto your spine. I can go very scientific on you on it, but it's when you're breathing and it releases the solution that comes down into your brain from your brain down to your spine. What happens is it creates this charge. And what the charge does is emits this energy out into the force. So people think about it all the time. They think, if somebody has watched The Secret, they think, oh, it's the law of attraction. It's coming to me. Energy is like energy. Some people think of it as God. Some people think of it as a bigger source. But that's physically what's happening. You're emitting this energy out to what you're trying to receive in. So the best thing when you're starting the day is you're emitting this clarity out, so that you can receive clarity and answers and more opportunities for you to build your business, to be a great mom, all of these different things. You know, and I don't know if we have a quick minute to say this short story, but I'm sure when you were little and your dad or your mom says, hey, go get me the salt from the kitchen, but you're eating and you're excited. And you're like, what? And it's like, go get the salt from the kitchen. And you're like, oh my God. Okay. You're already priming your brain to say, I don't know where the salt is. I don't know. You go into the kitchen and right away, he's screaming at you. It's over there. It's in the cabinet. It's in there. I don't know. What? I don't. And then you're getting more and more frustrated. You open the cabinet. It's right there, but your brain, you've already told yourself, I don't know where it is.
Right.
And for some reason, it takes you 20 minutes to see it when it's right in front of you. When you're clear and you're telling yourself these positive, and literally you're not even telling yourself, this is what scientifically that energy is coming towards you, that opportunity of seeing the salt that has always been there, your mind focuses right on, oh, it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same, with your reticular activating system in your brain, how you buy a new car and all of a sudden you see the same car that's been driving around you for all this time, and your brain focuses on that.
Yeah.
When you start the day, 1, with your morning routine, and 2, with meditation, it is a scientific fact. It is clearing your conscious and subconscious mind, and everything that you're going to start attracting, that you're going to start focusing on, which is positive energy, that feeling of love and gratitude will come to you. And it won't come to you in ways that you're going to expect, because that's the biggest key, right? That's the rub right now. If you're expecting, I'm going to expect a check for, $1,000. Yay. it's not that great if you know, okay, here's a check for $1,000. It's going to come to you unexpectedly. And all of a sudden, it's this domino effect of continued energy and flow, all because you started meditation. It is proven. There have been thousands of actual brain scans that meditation does emit and transfer this energy and back to you. So yes, and I mean, and that's very tangible. You all of a sudden you see the salt that's right in front of you that's been there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start with that mindset of saying, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I don't know how to do this. Well, then you don't know.
So that reminds me of a quick story I have with a programmer, my very first programmer that I hired. And this is many years ago. And technology was still, and was back then, moving at a very rapid pace. And every once in a while he would get stuck with something wasn't working. He just couldn't get this to work. And I said, just, go to bed and we'll deal with it in the morning. And sure enough, he would get up in the morning and says, it came to me. I figured it out. And so it became an ongoing joke where I would say, it didn't matter what time of the day it was, I would just go to bed. and he always came up with a response because he allowed his mind to relax, which is, the same as a meditative state. And the answers came to him while he was able to relax instead of focusing on the problem and, not being able to come up with the answer. As soon as he relaxed, the answers came. So definitely meditating is a great way to open up the possibilities. And instead of harping on the problems and the challenges, turn it around and go, okay, I'm open to what the solution is. What opportunities are going to come my way to be able to help this or, fix this or whatever. And it works. It works.
And, just to top off on your story there, I think also the key was, you said, go to bed and we'll figure it out in the morning.
Right.
It was kind of a permission to get them to say, yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah. And so our words are so powerful. They are so powerful that it just, all of a sudden, your brain says, okay, well then we can do it. My last piece of advice, really, and I mean, I could go on. I have about 25 of these, but my last one, it's very simple. And I've tried this. When you get overwhelmed, and you have your goals ahead of you and you have all the rest of the world ahead of you, I've tried this. Write down every negative thought that comes into your mind. When you write things down, you're declaring, and first off, when you read it, you're going to realize, are they this bad? Are they? What am I really thinking this? And be absolutely 100% honest. 100%. I mean, to the point of, I've heard, when you have a good girlfriend talk to you about their marriage or their relationship, but they're not as candid because they don't want to tell you that really in their thoughts, I don't know if I should divorce him. That's their thought, right? They're not going to obviously share it to you, but if that's your thought, write it down. And the big thing is, when you're writing these negative thoughts down, you're looking at it and you're realizing, okay, one, is it that bad? But two, you're going to remind yourself, does he really love me? Is one of the, I don't think he really loves me, for example, is one of the thoughts. And then you go about your day and then it pops into your head. Oh my gosh, he's ignoring me. So does he really love me, or what have you? And then you realize, no, that's just a negative, that's a condition of your brain. That's a conditioned thought. That thought has been into so many other people's minds. It is not a thought that you created. It's just happened from past experiences, from insecurities, from anything, from a feeling. And really, we women create a story from any situation or scenario, and it's completely false majority of the time. But we think about it. And so when you write this negative, when your negative thoughts, you're being very clear and also very vulnerable, and also letting yourself saying, okay, this is what's going on. And then you look at it, and then remember, when it comes again, saying, flip your script and saying, hold on, is it really true? I'm falling back into that routine. I'm falling back into that negative state. I need to get out of it. And you know what's great about being humans, especially women, but what's great about being humans is the fact that every single decision and every single thing that we feel is immediately controlled. We can control it. It isn't something where, oh gosh, I'm just going to be sad and I don't know what to do and I'll just pop a pill because that's what no, you can genuinely change your state. You know, if you thought of the best vacation or the best birthday present that you received or the best experience, and you go back to that thought, doesn't your chest kind of perk up? You're cracking a smile at the side of your mouth. You're feeling all this energy and vibration of this joyous moment back in time. That's the beautiful thing of what we can do. We can literally change our state.
Yeah.
And so when you do that, you count the times that you're thinking of these things and you go, wait, this is a silly thought. Wow, what? No, of course he loves me. This is silly. Genuinely, it's your ability to see that you're falling into this whole routine and you're going, and then showing up for this type of mentality every single day. It only prepares you to get to that next level. And so, yeah, those are the three things that I've changed. And they're free. So they're not something that, do I have to go and get a course to train me how to do these things? Two, it's so small and mechanical that you can start literally today. You can start tomorrow and try it. And hopefully, you know what, if you have tried it, give Susan a message, comment on there and say, you know what, this is the small thing I did, and tell us about it.
Yeah, I would love to hear from our viewers. Do you do any of these three already? And what are the results that you have? And are you willing to give any more a try? And just take this one step at a time. Like you said, it is free. And all it needs is a commitment, right? And so just as committed as everybody is with their business, let's get really committed on our mindset and make sure that we are setting the stage so that when those negative things do happen, because we do have a very up and down road on this entrepreneurial journey that we're on, we're going to really have a hard time getting back up again if we don't have these three foundational pieces in place to pick us back up and come up with solutions and stop dwelling on the negativity and thinking that, it's just not going to get any better than this. Well, you're not going to get any better if you think it's not going to get any better.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what happens is if we're not ahead of our thoughts and we don't start the day with clarity, and we start the day with our mobile device and trying to answer all of this, whatever, you're already priming your mind to say, it's going to be a stressful day. I don't have enough hours of the day. Everybody's just bothering me. And then you quit. And then this whole dream or this whole passion and the why that you were so excited about when you started becomes a side job, becomes something you dabbled with, becomes something that you end up waking up and thinking, I should have. And I think I heard this, and this is so profound to me, is that somebody said it, and it's, I couldn't quote the person, but they said, true hell is meeting the person that you could have been. Oh. And it's, it is one of those things that you don't want to regret when you are having this opportunity right now to truly build and make this beautiful thing that you're already doing, when it comes to all the other noise that nobody really talks about.
That was a profound statement right there, Pia. So thank you so much for sharing these valuable tips, Pia. This is amazing. I know it's going to help so many entrepreneurs and help them get their business dream off the ground and actually succeed and not have all that frustration and overwhelm that we see so often in the business world. So Pia, I know that you have an amazing podcast. To tell our viewers how they can reach you through your podcast and listen to some more inspiration and valuable stuff that you have for them.
Well, thank you, Susan. Yes, I am the host of the Pink Seed podcast. You can find it on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts. The whole purpose of it was I was lucky enough to have mentors in my life, especially as a woman, especially as growing at such a young age to such a high feat. I could only have done that with the help of other people. Can't do that alone. So I've told myself, how can I continue to spread the same knowledge and experience and just a gift to everybody through this podcast. But it's a lot of fun. And the main purpose of it is to truly inspire women in business to just, you could do it, but it's all about the work and the mindset. And it's okay to be vulnerable. And here are the strategies that other successful women are doing right now in your shoes, perhaps, and learn from that. And it's exciting. I mean, your podcast, our episode together, it's exciting. And it was a lot of fun. And I learned so much from you. So it's one of those where, why not? If you are, first off, be that learner, be open to receive this information. And hopefully, you know, the podcast does inspire and ignite. If you love it, I'd love for you to just give it that 5th star, because it only helps push the podcast out and help build the community. So yes. And then of course you can just find me. It's very easy. I'm 3 letters, PIA. So it doesn't stand for anything, but it's PiaHarriman.com as well.
Awesome. Yeah. And you and I are both the same. We're on a mission to help alleviate that overwhelm that many entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs, and you address this right at the very beginning. And that's also my why as to why I do these videos and why I do, our articles and get out on social media and try to educate as much as possible, is because I too was one of those entrepreneurs who didn't have a lot of support system when I first started out. And I want to be that support system for others, because I've been there, done that. And I can, both of us have that capacity to be able, and that not just the capacity, but also the desire to be that hand holder and that voice of reason, and be that place so people don't feel so alone and vulnerable in this world that we're in. So thank you so much for being you, Pia, and for doing what you do. And
that's right. That is right. No, that's what we should do. And more on social media, people should just be themselves. It's a lot of fun when you're yourself, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's it for the Business Edge episode today. Thanks everybody for joining us. And thank you again, Pia, for being my special guest. And hey, if you like this video, give us a like and share it to your social media followers. We would so appreciate it if you help spread the word and help other people who are in that state of overwhelm and frustration. And these 3 tips that Pia shared today could be very beneficial to them. So that's it for now, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.